Market recap for Friday, the 29th of May 2026. And coming into the market, we had our all-time high that we were teasing. Let me show this in an hourly. We had our all-time highs. We were making relative equal highs next to it, so it was the obvious draw on liquidity for the day. In terms of sell side, we had our, let's show this on the 1 minute. We had our initial liquidity, we had PM sell side, we have London sell side, we have Asia and lunch sell side. It's better shown on this chart, as you can see. So there was two ways that this day was going to play out, right? It's Friday, there's a potential for TGIF. So my process is we're more likely going to open, go up first, and then dump, rather than dump and then pump to all-time highs, right? Especially that we're this close to it, you know. I would expect going up, and there's two scenarios. Is either it goes up fast and then we just hard dump, right? Just take every sell side and come to this mini busy, or we would make people chase it and chase it. Like whoever's shorting would get absolutely squeezed, and then we're gonna dump it on them, right? Taking both sides, or like the other scenario that I said. So when the market opens here at 9:30, we go to the upper quadrant of our opening range gap. So I'm expecting at least a fill to the midpoint, right? So right there, that's my midpoint, right? That's what I expect the fill to be. At least, right? Like that's my target. So every time we open up and we leave sell side, right? We leave that much sell side. My target would be the 9:30 low, right? It's the easiest sell side. It doesn't have to come down here because it would do the damage by taking the 9:30 low. Anybody that was chasing and whatever and moved their stop losses, the 9:30 low is almost guaranteed. The rest is if it's bearish, right? And that's why you see once we got on that low, this, if we're going to be bullish again, and if we're going to take the high, it could have failed here and then kept going higher. So yeah, anyway, so I'm waiting here for the short. Now that it opens, blah blah blah, right? I thought we might stop around here since that's the second gap that we created. If we turned around here and then change the state, I'm taking that short. We don't, we respect it and we keep going higher and higher and higher, and then we start banging around here. Okay, and then finally we create this mini CB, right? I was watching, I was seeing how it's gonna react to it, right? Like you want to be careful trying to short, even though it's like, you know, it's because of all-time high, right? Like you want to be careful trying to short because I got nothing here on the left side to tell me, okay, it might stop here, right? There's just no data, right? So you want to be careful to not like, because this could have just sharply came and then we could have pumped and just continued, and then later at like around 10:50 then we would have had a dump. So I need to know which macro we're gonna do it in. Is it gonna be the 9:51 or the 10:50? That's my two options right there, where it has to dump, where it has to do that thing. Normally it is in the earlier macro, normally it's in here, right, rather than the later one. So once we create this high, right, I'm watching. Cool. We come down and then we change the state of the original CB that, I mean, basically that I wanted to enter in. However, my fault in this day, I entered on that and I had a stop loss based on that, completely forgetting about the structure here. And essentially where it went to, it's just the breaker with this gap in it, right? I don't know why I entered here, especially on a limit, because that's not my model, right? Like this basically has to be up there. So what I would have done different, right? So I got stopped out on that one. But what I got different is I would have waited for this because this doesn't confirm anything yet. However, once it comes down to this, and now this should work. So my entry would be the second that it touches the low of this inversion, essentially, then I would enter, because now it would act as an inversion. This, it would have to go to basically the 50%, right, the discount. And then now I would expect it to act as inversion. Watch how the body opened up, which you try to get to the high and then dump straight down. So just for my next times, that's just for me, right? I know probably almost everybody taking the short from here or whatever, right? I messed up on that short because I don't know, the market hasn't moved in a clean manner in a long time. I guess I'm just kind of rusty with it. But anyway, that's my short. If I had a larger stop loss, right? Like if it was genuine, I was so focused on here rather than looking at here, because there was nothing here for me that I really like cared about to get the short. Anyway, it goes up aggressively, sends it down, and this is the confirmation right there, right? So bear entry would be here. It's the same entry, but it's after the confirmation, right? Basically, I didn't wait for the confirmation, and that's my fault right there. So I'll take that loss. I should be done, but like I just knew I messed up, and the fact that it went down here, I'm like, all right, cool. We still didn't reach our target. Okay, so let's get rid of this and this. We still haven't reached our target right there, right? So we stall on the first presented and we don't close below it. So if I'd taken a short, this probably would be a partial. Or honestly, if I'm just running like my one to twos, you know, I mean 2 to 1, whatever, I'll probably just close out here for like an easy guaranteed 100% trade. There's just no two ways around it. I was also looking later, I was like, okay, this is the most obvious entry, right? And I was just waiting to just see if it's just gonna work out, right? Because I did not want to enter again and break my rules. But it was so obvious. His institution order flow entry drill into it, and boom, we delivered the second leg, right? So this is the guaranteed, I guess, first leg, basically guaranteed. This is the second leg where it really should have, but it could do some BS, right? So that's why I would say like the 1 to 2 guaranteed anyway. So what would that be? That's like guaranteed 60, 70 points. And then the second leg, which I said midpoint, that's what I'm looking at, midpoint of the opening range gap. It's another 60 points to it, basically, or 50. So that would have been the trade. Anyway, I was like, you know what, I'm not ending on a loss today, so it's easy, it gets to read. So now I'm watching, are we gonna have the willingness to go up, right? Of course we're gonna have the retracement here, but are we gonna break the structure? The only thing that would make sense is visiting this gap, because if this stays open, we still bearish. This breakaway gap, right? If we're gonna take the highs or whatever, right? We stop here, and I believe this would be on the NQ, because this CB has the volume imbalance right there, while on the MNQ you can't see it. So it stops there. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, cool. By the way, I do take the long right here as well. I take the long, comes here, and then I close for now. I basically got back my loss, right? And now I'm watching, okay, is the short gonna happen? So I'm watching the midpoint of this wick. If we're gonna continue higher, we should not close below that. It tries here again and closes above the first presented, and then now we lose it. Now we're guaranteed bearish. So once it goes back to the midpoint of this wick, I take the short, and I know the next target would have to be this minimum. So I take that short. So it is a bit of rust today. I did break my rules, and I guess I'm not gonna try to do that again. It's because I made the mistake earlier. So I'll try to be more patient and not mix up my models, if that makes any sense. Depending on entry or whatever. The TPs were obvious. It was either going to be this, and if we're going to have a real second stage, it was going to be this, right? And then after that, like it could have the PM low, the London low. I know a lot of people would have been surprised I didn't get the London low, but you know, that's three liquidities that it went to. It doesn't need to get to here if it can make extra relative equal lows for us for a later date to come for. You know, you don't have to target all of them. Just target at least like the initial ones, right? That's why I just take profit at the initial ones. And if it wants to go, it can go. But yeah. Anyway, that's the market recap. It's a bit messy. Not ideal. Definitely not happy how I kind of messed up an easy day because I should have been in and out. That should be it. But yeah, I guess it's a lesson to learn. And also we're clearly moving to a different market condition where it is more loose clearly than before. So yes, I'll still stick to the 2-1 or 1-2, whatever you want to call it, trades. However, I'm more inclined to just trust that it has to deliver to something before doing that. So if I could have got that entry, there's how many? There's two entries for me here. That's like what I call the guaranteed. This entry on a buy stop or sell stop or whatever it is, right there, and this entry I wouldn't call it, it is less guaranteed, but yeah, this one on a limit to there, right? You could catch this leg, or both legs. Is up to you how you feeling about the market. But you know, with recently how there's just like a news candle that would just pop up, you know, I'd rather just take my one leg and get out, right? Be safe, be content, and just keep doing that consistently over and over again than trying to catch two legs and then get hit by a break even by some BS candle that would go all the way up there and then dump. Like, come on, bro. We're not doing all that. However, now with this, I guess this model, right? Because I had some doubts if it could get to that target, right? Because I know this is the target, but at that point, once we pumped 170 handles, normally it doesn't go that high. It does go high, but it doesn't really go that high. I had my doubts of it. Could it actually come back all the way to the target? Because that's the target for the model. And it clearly does. So I guess I gotta trust my models more. And now I know, right? Some of these are just new, right? Some of these are new models, so I don't really have that much experience with them. But the more you know, the more that I see it, the easier it get, I guess. But yeah, that's the market recap. A bit of a mistake on my part for this week specifically. To be fair, I think probably on Thursday I didn't even did I buy on Thursday? What happened here on Thursday? Oh yeah, Thursday. The the classic news scandal. I tried to get my shot. I knew this would be so obvious, but it came out too early before my 9:40 window. So we got cooked on that here with the news scandal. And on Friday, as you can see, I had to get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was not accepting the loss for today as well. Come on. Like, normally, if I'm going to lose, try to keep it a minimum for once a week. So, yeah, kinda one of my worst performing weeks. Like, even if it's profitable, but still, you know, in terms of execution, I'd say I wasn't locked in. So, we move with it, and yeah, I'm just lock in next time. Anyway, that's the market recap. Peace out.